You need a compact and budget-friendly camera rig to shoot B-roll, but choosing the right gear without wasting money can be tricky. I've tested and tweaked mine to be stable and easy to handle, include an affordable monitor, and protect the HDMI port with a special cable. All these without overspending. In this video, I will show you exactly how to build it, how much it costs, and how to avoid wasting money on the wrong setup. My goal was to build an efficient rig no matter what camera brand you use, because a bad rig wastes your time, leads to shaky footage, and makes handling difficult. So let's fix that. The first piece of gear you need to choose is the camera cage. This will depend on your camera model, but the rest of the gear that I will show can be attached to any cage. Small Rig has some great cages. I will drop you a link in the description where you can choose the right one for your camera brand and model, whether it's Canon, Sony, Panasonic, Fujifilm, Nikon, and so on. For example, I have a Canon R6 Mark II. This is my main camera. I use it for all my YouTube videos or client projects. The 4K on this camera is incredibly sharp because it's downsampled from 6K, and the best proof is that I'm filming this video right now with the Canon R6 Mark II and the Canon RF 24-70 f2.8 lens. So make sure you're watching it in 4K here on YouTube to be able to see how clean the image is on this full-frame camera. If you're searching for the best value full-frame Canon camera that doesn't overheat in 4K, has C-Lock 3, and takes amazing photos at 24 megapixels, the Canon R6 Mark II is the way to go. So for this camera, I bought the Black Mamba cage, which is very solid. It protects my camera even here at the shutter button. It has an additional cold shoe mount here on the left, a lot of mounting threads on each side, and this is exactly what you need when building a camera rig. This cage has 3 mounting points, one at the bottom and another 2 on the side, so it's very secure in my opinion. It even comes with its own magnetic wrench here at the bottom. I didn't regret a second buying this cage because it also has a beautiful textured finish, and I love when brands really put effort into the small details of a product. This Black Mamba cage costs around $84, and it's the best value you can get for a cage like this. The next piece of gear is a small rig mount for the external monitor, which costs $40. It's a special one because it uses this big screw with 2 RE locating pins that prevent this mount to twist on the cage. As you can see, the screw will have its place here along with 2 RE holes. And you can mount this by hand very easily. The screw has a nice textured grip, and if you want extra safety, you can use an Allen key to tighten this up. You have this option too. Let's attach this amazing and good-looking external monitor that I've chosen for this compact rig. Don't get me wrong, I own the Atomos Shinobi. I also bought the Atomos Ninja 5. They are extremely good products, but if you want the best value for your money for this specific indoor rig, I highly recommend getting this monitor, the Portkeys PT6, and here is why. First of all, it's 0.37 pounds or 170 grams, so it's very lightweight. It's a Full HD 5.2-inch display with 600 nits brightness, which for indoor use is more than enough. And if you want to shoot outside on a bright sunny day, you can still use it, but this is how it looks like. It's not so bright. However, the monitor comes in the pack with a sunshade as well, which will help you a lot. And if the sunshade isn't enough or it's annoying if you shoot outside most of the time, I recommend getting the Atomos Shinobi 2 instead, because it has 1500 nits brightness, and that is excellent. Plus, it has touch control for some cameras. But let's come back to the budget-friendly rig and stick to the Portkeys PT6. This monitor will only cost you around $110, and at the bottom you'll see this metal thread. So all you have to do is to mount it like this by tightening this big screw from the small rig monitor mount, and that's it. The monitor mount can tilt like this, or it can rotate like this if you want. And if this video helps you, hit the like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. On the left side, you'll find an HDMI in port, an audio jack for monitoring, a USB port for firmware updates and custom LUTs, a lock switch for the touchscreen, and on the right side, there's an HDMI out, the on-off switch, and the DC power supply port. Now, of course, all these details won't matter if the monitor wouldn't be so useful in the first place, because you basically want to have a bigger screen with a better visibility than the camera's LCD screen, and you want tools to help you expose better and have precise focus control even in manual focus mode. And the Portkeys PT6 has all the tools you need. focus peaking to know exactly if your subject is in focus by highlighting its edges with a specific color that you can change in the menu, and some tools that, like I said, will help you to set the right exposure on a person or object, like zebra, false color, and of course the waveform. These are all the tools you need to shoot B-roll. Now, you can power the PD6 using two types of batteries. If you own a Canon camera, you can use regular Canon LPE6 batteries, but I prefer to keep those to power my camera. So what I like to use instead is this smart, long-lasting 10,500 mAh NPF battery from SmallRig, which is built for multiple scenarios. It's bigger and it's special compared to the classic NPF batteries because it has two other ports on the sides, a USB-C and a USB-A port if you need to power other things at the same time. It also displays the battery percentage if you touch this circle here. This smart $80 NPF battery will be perfect if later you want to upgrade your rig and maybe use a dummy battery to power both your camera and monitor at the same time. So it's a future-proof investment, and you can also use it on a daily basis as a power delivery option to charge phones, tablets, watches, and so on. The reason I don't use a dummy battery for this rig now is because I want to keep it as simple as possible. But if you can afford the USB-C dummy battery, which is not so expensive, this one is around $21, then you can power everything from one single NPF. Just make sure the dummy battery is made for your camera exactly, and it has USB-C to be able to connect it to the NPF battery. And of course, I will put affiliate links to everything in this video down in the description, and just so you know, this video is not sponsored by anyone. The next piece of gear you will need is this SmallRig side handle, which is lightweight and also comfortable to hold. You can attach it to the cage using this part with the two screws I will show you in a second, or if your cage has a NATO rail on the side, you can also use this mount. The handle, the cold shoe, and the two mounts with the screws are included in the package when you make the purchase, so a positive thing. Also, you'll find a magnetic wrench at the bottom of the handle, which you can use to loosen the screws to slide and readjust the position of the handle up or down. In my case, I just want to keep the base of the side handle in line with the cage. I chose to mount the side handle on the left side of the camera. You can mount it on the right side as well, but if you want to have your right hand very close to the buttons in this area, especially to the record button because that is the most important when you shoot B-roll, then you'll need to mount the handle on the left side. And if you ask yourself, why do I recommend a $30 side handle with this rig instead of just holding the camera with both hands, I will explain this after assembling the rig. On this cold shoe here, let's attach the Rode Video Micro. I still have the version 1, which costs $72. It does the job really well, but you can also get the version 2 if you want. They are both very good options. They don't need any batteries, they both get power from the camera's audio jack, and they are much better options than the internal microphone of the camera. They are simply perfect for this B-roll rig. I mentioned in the beginning that I built this rig in a way to also protect the camera's HDMI port. You see, my camera, and maybe yours too, has a micro HDMI output. Very frustrating, but I found a very good solution to protect this port without using a cable clamp. This was the classic cable that I used until this point. It's a bit dangerous to use it like this because with a small hit, the micro HDMI port could be damaged. And immediately after that, you will start to cry. So I found this special 90-degree cable from micro HDMI to full HDMI. First of all, it looks good. I love this color, it's braided, and it's called a right angle cable because when it comes out of the camera, it immediately turns to the right. Please pay attention to this and buy the correct cable because they are left angle cables as well. I will link this below, it's the perfect length and it costs $9. And with this cable, the chances to ruin the micro HDMI port are minimized because the cable only sticks out just a bit and it's way more stable. But now you'll have a problem because when you insert the other side into the monitor, the cable is touching and blocking the microphone from its natural position and it's pressing it down. I don't like this. Thankfully, I found this 90-degree HDMI adapter, which is great. You insert it into the monitor and now everything fits perfectly and you have enough space for all the components. So the answer to why do I recommend a side handle for this rig instead of just holding the camera with both hands? Well, your shots will be more stable when your hands are farther apart because your body provides a better support. And especially when your lens is not stabilized, maybe having a side handle is a very, very good thing. Also, when you need to rest your hands and take a short break, you can just hold the entire setup by the side handle and move around without any problems. And there's a third reason as well. You can mount the microphone on this cold shoe because then the monitor gets in the way. If we were to use a top handle, for example, then the monitor would be much higher and you would probably have enough room to put the microphone on the cold shoe mount from the cage itself. This rig setup has a very good grip overall, and if you want to use manual focus, you can still do it even if you mounted the side handle. Of course, adding a rubber ring on the lens is so important to make focusing easier by having a better grip. You just have to measure the diameter of the lens and choose the right size for the rubber. Also, I want to give you two small tips to avoid spending money on the wrong gear for this setup. Number one, the external monitor. You need to ask yourself, will you be using this rig mostly for indoor or outdoor? If it's mainly for indoor use, I wouldn't spend more just to get the Atomos Shinobi 2, which is a very, very good external monitor, but that would be overkill for what you need. If you shoot 50-50 or mainly outdoor in bright sunlight, then I would definitely buy the Shinobi 2 because it will be perfect for both indoor and outdoor. Of course, don't forget about the ND filter for sunny days. I'm still recommending the Nisi True Color Variable ND filter for a very good image quality. Number two, a lot of people think they must buy a gimbal to get smooth shots, but that's not always true. Like I said, adding a side handle keeps your hands further apart, giving you natural stabilization. Unless you're doing complex movement shots like fast walking or running, this $30 handle is a much smarter investment than a $400 gimbal you might not need right now. As you saw, I didn't include the top handle because I wanted to keep this rig as compact as possible and easy to work with. You can use it to shoot product B-roll at events, interviews, and so on. You can even use it for talking head videos like this. You just put it on a tripod and you're good to go. However, if you like a more advanced setup than this one that includes a top handle and it's built for extra protection for your camera and lens, watch this video next because I show you exactly what gear do you need to build it. Or you could watch this video if you need some game-changing setups to power your camera for hours.